Please don't hate me or do, I don't care. But seriously, the more I think about this, the more hilarious this has become. And I know that it's so serious, but hopefully you will understand why I think this is so funny in just a little bit here.
Despite the fact the Prime Minister has known for years that Trump was threatening these tariffs, and for 3 weeks that President Trump had won the election, the only plan he has is a Zoom call. No plan to reverse his disastrous liberalization of drugs that have killed people and now threaten our borders. No plan to fix the broken borders that he caused. No plan to cancel the tax increases that will drive billions and many jobs away. Where's the plan to put Canada first?
I'm Jasmine Lane. It's over opinionated, and my oh my have the reactions started pouring in to Donald Trump and his threat to implement a 25% tariff on both Canada and Mexico. A tariff that Trump says he will keep in effect until illegal aliens stop invading the United States from Canada and Mexico, and until drugs, particularly fentanyl, stop invading the USA from Canada and Mexico. It's interesting how in Mexico they obviously have the cartel, but in Canada, our cartel is kind of our government, because safe supply and all of that. Yikes. And we are going to be getting through all of the different responses to that, including why I think this is so funny, which may seem kind of odd because obviously it sucks for us big time, but it's also hilarious. Before we get into all of that, I want to remind you to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and comment your thoughts down below, especially after you hear why this is laughable to me. If you agree with my analysis that I have, I would love to know your thoughts or even some extra examples or comparisons that you could make as well. So let's first share a little bit of the Liberals losing their minds over this because, yep, it's 100% their fault.
It is absolutely 150% your fault. Of course it's their fault.
And I don't know that they can hide behind the climate agenda to get out of this one.
We spoke with the incoming president, and moments later, Mr. Trump put out a tweet slapping a 25% tariff on Canada. So that worked about as well as the Prime Minister's efforts on Buy America and softwood lumber, which continue to be penalized, even though the previous Conservative government got both of those things lifted. Now move over to drugs. The Prime Minister's disastrous legalization and liberalization of drugs has the Americans worried, in addition to costing 47,000 deaths in Canada. Where's the plan to stop the drugs and keep our border open to trade?
Once again, the Leader of the Opposition is just making stuff up. I clearly spoke with the President of the United States an hour and a half after he put out his suggestion on tariffs. The reality is we're going to continue to work constructively with the incoming administration to protect Canadian jobs, to protect Canadian growth, to take the responsible approach that isn't steeped in partisanship, that pulls together the Team Canada approach that stands up for Canadians instead of throwing our arms up and saying all is broken like the Leader of the Opposition.
Well, that's even worse. The statement went out promising tariffs before they even got a chance to speak. It's kind of like him backing down on Buy America and backing down on softwood lumber, Mr. Speaker. Now let's move to the tariffs the Prime Minister wants to impose on our economy. Quadrupling the carbon tax to 61 cents a litre would cripple our economy. New tax increases on work and energy would do likewise, sending hundreds of billions of dollars south of the border. Now that Canadians are facing this economic crisis, will he at least cancel his plan to hike taxes so we can save jobs?
See once again the Leader of the Opposition flailing and inventing stuff to try and fit his preferred attacks into his priorities. The reality is we're going to continue to work constructively with the incoming administration to do what Canada and the U.S. have always done: create prosperity together, protect jobs on both sides of the border as we grow the economy.
So another thing that's really funny about this is the fact that Donald Trump announced these tariffs before Justin Trudeau even had the chance to speak to him or plead his case. And shocker, of course he would, because Trump knows that Trudeau is done and that there's really no point in talking to him about this stuff, because in the past, Trump has been pretty damn clear that he does not like Justin Trudeau. He does not like how his government is run. He thinks it's insane. And he kind of thinks that he is a moron. To kind of top that off, here is Kevin O'Leary also weighing in on the situation.
The challenge with the Canadian situation is different than the Mexican. Trudeau is a really unpopular leader, and in the parliamentary system, he'll be getting whacked soon. It's the end game in the parliamentary system is so brutal. Look what happened in England just recently. It's about to happen to him. So that Trump will not be negotiating with Trudeau. He'll be dealing with a guy named Pierre Poilievre who will get majority mandate. I think Trump should invite him down to Mar-a-Lago now. I don't know what the protocol and all that is, but he'll be dealing with Pierre. He might as well.
He was much more ideologically aligned with Trump.
Well, here's what Poilievre has already said. I'm going to lift the ban on pipelines. I'm going to kill the carbon tax to be competitive with Texas. And I'm going to open all kinds of investment in Canada. That's Trump's kind of guy. So I know he talked to Trudeau last night, but Trudeau is checking out of Dodge.
And look at how outrageously pathetic Justin Trudeau's response was after he had a conversation with Donald Trump about this. Like, he is just blabbering away, so desperate to try to come off as like some big, strong, powerful leader. Meanwhile, he absolutely just got put into a timeout by Donald Trump, without a doubt.
He obviously talked about laying out the facts, talking about how the intense and effective connections between our two countries flow back and forth. We talked about some of the challenges that we can work on together. It was a good call. This is something that we can do, laying out the facts, moving forward in constructive ways. This is a relationship that we know takes a certain amount of working on, and that's what we'll do.
Now, I know that this is very serious. This is unreal for Canada, actually. Like, this could be so devastating, especially when you consider how horrendous our economic situation is in right now. Again, from the Liberals, it's funny how they just want to destroy everything, it seems. Yep. And thank God many Canadians are starting to wake up to that reality, and Justin Trudeau is starting to pay a price, largely in the form of knowing that he does not have a job for very much longer. But here's why I think this is so unbelievably funny. And again, please, if you can relate to this analogy and you can see where my brain is firing off here, just let me know in the comments down below, because everybody's really in a panic like this. And for me, the only thing I'm thinking is like, how awesome is that the United States got Donald Trump? Woke was destroyed in the United States, clearly. Canada also got Donald Trump. And now we have Trump running our country better than our own prime minister has been able to do for recent years. Like, he literally puts a tariff in place, like a timeout, like a punishment to Justin Trudeau for screwing up so unbelievably bad, to fix our illegal immigration, which is something Canadians have been asking for forever, and also the excess of legal immigration, and then to also fix the absurdity, the absolutely radical policies we have with criminals and with our drug laws, our soft on crime. Like, Canadians have been sounding the alarm to this stuff forever because it's terrible. And while Justin Trudeau won't listen to us, he will be listening to Donald Trump. And the whole thing is just giving me like when you're fighting with your parents, so you go to your grandparents, but then your parents also go to your grandparents, you know, and your grandparents are the mediator. That is like Trump is our grandparents. That's the vibe that I'm getting at the moment from all of this. Or even just the fact that Donald Trump is treating Justin Trudeau like your son who took the family vehicle to go to a party, even though you told them that they weren't allowed to take the family vehicle to go to a party. And then they got caught because, you know, they scratched a door or something and they had to come clean. Oh, it was all my fault. I totally screwed everything up. And then they just get like punished and allowance taken away, essentially. That is Donald Trump. Donald Trump is the person who's putting Prime Minister Justin Trudeau on a timeout. And yes, this does really suck because obviously Trudeau's failures are something that all of us have to pay for. And Trump knows that as well. And Trump loves Canadians. He's been very clear about how much he loves Canadians and very clear about how messed up the Trudeau government has treated us. And as horrible as it is for these tariffs to come, because it will dramatically affect us if they do in fact come, a piece of me is also thanking Donald Trump for taking this so seriously, because Lord knows our government isn't. And yeah, it absolutely needs to be changed. Thanks for watching Over Opinionated with Jasmine Lane. Subscribe, like, comment. I don't know if this was a little bit of an unpopular opinion. I can't help myself. I shouldn't laugh at it, but it's just funny. It's so funny to see Justin Trudeau like squirm and be like, from Donald Trump. It's just, I don't know. I love it. I love all of this. I hope these tariffs don't come, but I do love what it's doing to our Liberal Party at the very least, because it's much deserved.
You destroyed my vote. You beat me up in your sleep. And worst of all, you made Nancy and I resent each other.